good afternoon, everybody. It is May 26, 2026. 2626. All right. 5/26/26. We are going to read today from Numbers chapter 35, and we're going to read Psalm 79. Okay. So Numbers 35, well, we've talked about how the apportionment of the promised land is going to go, and how it's going to be conducted, and how the tribes are going to inherit, but we've left out the Levites. So we're going to talk about the Levites. Now, the Levites don't get a land, they get some cities. They get 48 cities are going to be theirs. 42 are just regular cities, and 6 of them are special cities, and we're going to see what those special cities are. So let's go ahead, we're going to read Numbers 35. When the Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they give the Levites cities to dwell in from the inheritance of their possession, and you shall also give the Levites common land around the cities. They shall have the cities to dwell in, and in their common land shall be for their cattle, for their herds, and for all their animals. So each tribe has to donate some land to the Levites. The common land of the cities, verse 4, which you will give the Levites, shall extend from the wall of the city outward 1,000 cubits all around. And you shall measure outside the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, on the south side 2,000 cubits, on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. The cities shall be in the middle. This shall belong to them as common land for the cities. Now among the cities which you will give to the Levites, you shall appoint 6 cities of refuge, to which a manslayer may flee. And to these you shall add 42 cities. So all the cities you will give to the Levites shall be 48. These you shall give with their common land, and the cities which you will give shall be from the possession of the children of Israel. From the larger tribes you shall give many, from the smaller you shall give few. Each shall give some of his cities to the Levites in proportion to the inheritance that each receives. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall appoint cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer who kills any person accidentally may flee there. They shall be cities of refuge for you from the avenger, that the manslayer may not die until he stands before the congregation in judgment. And of the cities which you give, you shall have 6 cities of refuge. You shall appoint 3 cities on this side of the Jordan, and 3 cities you shall appoint in the land of Canaan, which will be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be for refuge for the children of Israel, for the stranger and for the sojourner among them, that anyone who kills a person accidentally may flee them there. So not murder, but manslaughter. You know, I didn't mean to kill that person. It was an accident. Ordinarily, you kill somebody, then the family of the victim would appoint one of their family members to come and seek vengeance on you, and life for life, eye for eye. But if it was an accident, you can flee to one of these cities, and the manslayer can't follow you. He's got to put you up before for a tribunal, essentially, and they're going to decide your guilt or not, whether it was an accident or not. It might turn you over to the avenger, or it might tell the avenger, hey, you got to leave him alone. All right, and we're going to see how that works in a little bit too. So let's go to verse 16. But if he strikes him with an iron implement so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he strikes him with a stone in the hand by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Or if he strikes him with a wooden hand weapon by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. You picked up something and hit the guy and killed him with that. You looked for a weapon to do great harm. You're guilty. That's not what this is covering. The avenger of blood, in 19, himself shall put the murderer to death. When he meets him, he shall put him to death. If he pushes him out of hatred, or while lying in wait, hurls something at him so that he dies, or in enmity he strikes him with his hand so that he dies, the one who struck him shall surely be put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. Or, okay, I didn't necessarily reach for a weapon to hurt you, but you know what? I plotted to hurt you. I planned to hurt you. That's murder. You don't get the city of refuge. Verse 22. However, if he pushes him suddenly without enmity, or throws anything at him without lying in wait, or uses a stone by which a man could die, throwing it at him without seeing him so that he dies, while he was not his enemy or seeking his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the manslayer and the avenger of blood according to these judgments. All right, but that crime of passion. My emotions just ran away with me. I acted before I could even really think. That's what it's covering. I didn't mean to kill him. He pushed my buttons. I told him to stop. He just kept pushing them, and eventually I snapped. Not my fault. Or, you know what? I was throwing a rock to hit an animal for game, and I didn't see that he was walking through the field at that time, and I hit him and I killed him accidentally. Verse 25, so the congregation shall deliver the manslayer from the hand of the avenger of blood, and the congregation shall return him to the city of refuge where he had fled, and he shall remain there until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the holy oil. So we go before this tribunal. They decide that, yes, he didn't really mean to kill him. It was an accident. His sentence now, you can't kill him, but he has to go, or I would have to go and live in this city of refuge until the high priest who decides that it was an accident dies. I have to stay in that city. But if the manslayer at any time goes outside the limits of the city of refuge where he fled, and the avenger of blood finds him outside the limits of his city of refuge, and the avenger of blood kills the manslayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. So if the high priest hasn't died yet, and I leave the city of refuge, and the avenger sees me, he can kill me again, because I've left the protection zone. But after the death of the high priest, the manslayer may return to the land of his possession. But once the high priest dies, a brand new high priest comes in, it's a brand new slate. All the slate is clean. I can't be killed, I'm not guilty. Verse 29, and these things shall be a statute of judgment to you throughout your generations and all your dwellings. Whoever kills a person, the murderer shall be put to death on the testimony of witnesses. But one witness is not sufficient testimony against a person for the death penalty. Got to have at least 2 or 3. Moreover, you shall take no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. Jesus before the Sanhedrin, before Pilate, were told that they couldn't find 2 witnesses that agreed with each other, so they violated that when they put him to death. Hey, they released Barabbas. Barabbas was a murderer, so they ransomed him, so they erred again. So here, way back here in Numbers, we're seeing things that are important to us as Christians to understand why Jesus' atoning sacrifice meant so much. Why it was an error, how they violated it, how they violated this law here. And why do we not want to violate this law? 33, so you shall not pollute the land where you are, for blood defiles the land, and no atonement can be made for the land for the blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of him who shed it. Therefore do not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. So God amongst us, we can't be sinners. Can't shed blood. Let's go over to Psalm 79. A dirge and a prayer for Israel, destroyed by enemies. So this is another psalm of Asaph. Preceding one, we kind of saw the history of their wandering in the wilderness. Here we're going to see that the seems to be the Assyrians destroying the temple, and the people going, okay, well, that kind of sucks, because we thought that was important, and that made us different than everybody. But now that it's gone, what do we do now? Well, God had a plan for them if they would just wait. O God, the nations have come into your inheritance, your holy temple they have defiled. They have laid Jerusalem in heaps, the dead bodies of your servants they have given as food for the birds of the heavens, the flesh of your saints to the beasts of the earth. Their blood they have shed like water all around Jerusalem, and there was no one to bury them. We have become a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and derision to those who are around us. How long, Lord, will you be angry forever? Will your jealousy burn like fire? Pour out your wrath on the nations that do not know you, and on the kingdoms that do not call on your name, for they have devoured Jacob and laid waste his dwelling place. O do not remember former iniquities against us. Let your tender mercies come speedily to meet us, for we have been brought very low. Help us, O God of our salvation, for the glory of your name, and deliver us and provide atonement for our sins. For your name's sake, why should the nations say, where is their God? Let there be known among the nations in our sight the avenging of the blood of your servants, which has been shed Let the groaning of the prisoner come before you, according to the greatness of your power. Preserve those who are appointed to die, and return to our neighbors sevenfold into their bosom their reproach with which they have reproached you, O Lord. So we, your people and sheep of your pasture, will give you thanks forever. We will show forth your praise to all generations. May God bless the reading of his word, and may God bless you. Bye.